Today I'm going to show you a really simple way to turn one blackberry bush into 2 blackberry bushes, or 2 blackberry bushes into 4 blackberry bushes, etc. Now here in our yard we have a favorite blackberry, and it's very small, sweet. It does have seeds, but they're very small, so you don't really notice them so much, but it's not the most vigorous plant. We have other plants like leafed Himalaya sort of berry, which we don't have any in this section, that try to take over these guys. So we want to make sure we have plenty of these, and so I'll show you how we propagate. So we're still early in the season, and this blackberry is going to grow a lot taller, and it naturally will or may bend down to the ground. And then its tip can root into the ground and produce a new plant. Now this blackberry itself may or may not do that, but so we're going to help it out. And let me show you a couple that we did last summer. So this ugly white thing marks the spot from the one from last year. So if you can see this plant here, it is rooted. We follow it down here. We rooted it right down in here, and it's rooted in there really nicely, and this is the new growth coming up from it. Now you can or cannot cut it, it's up to you. We don't bother, and it works just fine. But this is the new plant that is growing up from the tip of this vine right here. And I have one more with this shiny one. So here is the vine from last summer that we rooted down here, and this is all the new growth from it right here. See these little guys? They're growing straight up from this one right here. Spring and summer is a really great time to do this, so that's why I'm shooting this video now, to show you so that you can propagate some of your blackberries as well. So let's go ahead and do one. So I want to pick this season's growth, and this is this season's growth. And then I'm going to take the tip of it, and I'm going to take all of the foliage off, pick it all off. These aren't really thorny. There's a little bit of stickers on them, but not bad. If you have a really thorny variety, wear gloves. I'm probably going to I always actually regret my decisions not to wear gloves, even with these. Even with this plant that's not quite, I mean, it does have briars, but they're not so bad. Okay, so I usually take about 4 to 6 inches of the foliage off, and then we're going to bend it down into the ground and bury it into the dirt about 4 to 6 inches. We want to keep all of our berries in the same area, so I have this hole down here. I'm going to plant the tip of it down in there like that, and I'm going to cover it back up. And then it's buried down in there. You want to have it a foot or 2 away from the parent plant to give it a little bit of room in there. And then in about 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to see new growth coming in here. And as you saw on the plants over here, now these were done at the end of summer last fall. We just stuck them in there, and so this spring they took off. And we always put something to mark where we put them. So last summer we used whatever junk we have in the garden. Behind me there's a construction project right there. So there's lots of scrap material that we can use. For this one, I'm going to be using this block of wood, and I just put it right at the base of the plant so that I can remember that this is one of the berries that I am layering, so that we don't disturb it. We want to not disturb it for 6 to 8 weeks. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to fill in this entire fence line with the blackberries, and we've got a little bit of a hole here. That's why we're working on the tip layering with the plants we have here, and I picked one from over here. So we just kind of have a wild thing going on here, but if you have a more cultivated looking yard, you can always root them into pots, and then once the roots have established and you see the new growth, you can cut it from the parent plant, and then you have your additional plant for free. So if you have a container garden, that's a perfect way to go. You can also do this with other caned fruits such as raspberries. Well, that's all I've got for today. So until next time, see ya.